Okay, I think I got this to work. So, hopefully you can find me. I don't know if I posted the right link. I don't know where I am in YouTube land, but I am glad to be here. I had to try it out because it's such a beautiful day outside that I just decided, what the hey, take the leap and try doing my first YouTube live. So welcome. Um, for my friends who are out in other parts of the country, I know you're laughing at me because it's 53 degrees and I'm in my in my beanie and my puffy jacket, but for California, it is pretty chilly. So today, what I wanted to do, normally my channel is going to be about doing spiritual practices or exercises that will help people find their calling or purpose in life, to help us grow closer to our creator and to find out what we were created for. However, I am taking the opportunity in this very unique, bizarre time in the world to take a break from my regularly scheduled programming and the plans that I had had, to take advantage of what I think is a huge to do with. And all of us have pretty much had all of our usual routines, excuse me, stripped away. So no matter what your current circumstances are, I hope actually a blessing. Now, I'm noticing that there are two types of people and their responses to this. The first type of person is the achiever, the go-getter, the highly efficient completer of tasks, AKA not me. And I noticed that in this kind of extended snow day without any snow, many of them experience kind of a low level anxiety because they're lost without the anchor of their busy lives, their to-do list. One of my friends that I know just couldn't sit still because they needed to be doing something, but there was nothing they could do. And so they kind of just paced back and forth in their living room. And so to these friends, I say stop. Stop and pause for a moment. That God is giving you the blessing of learning how to rest and to recalibrate in this season. And for the first time in your life, perhaps you've been given the permission to do nothing and just be. For once, nobody is judging you by your performance or for your lack of achievement. And so take advantage of it and discover what it means to be connected to the source of life and to remember what it is to be reconnected to the source of life. Remember all those times that you said you were too busy to pray? Well, now you have time. And so if you don't know how, you've got time to learn. Then there's the other type of person, like me. And we're the people that the first type of person is always wondering about and wondering why we get so little done in a day. We don't have any problem being. So you'll need a piece of paper and you'll need maybe some pens or some crayons or something to draw with, and um, maybe a quiet space. So lock yourself away and kids, but just take this time to reconnect with the source of life and your creator. All right. And you can even, like me, get your coffee, your stroopwafel if you need it. All right. So hopefully by now you've got your paper and your drawing or writing utensils. And what you're going to do is you're going to fold your paper in half, and then you're going to fold it in half again so that you've got 4 quadrants folded into your paper, 4 little boxes. You've got 4 quadrants folded into your paper, 4 little boxes. And at the top left corner, write what my life was like BS, before the stay-at-home order. Okay. What my life was like BS, before. And then in the upper right-hand quadrant, write what my, oh, sorry, write what I longed for or wished for in life, BS, before stay-at-home order. What I longed for or wished for in life, BS. And then in the lower left corner, write what kind of person I want to be, PS, post stay-at-home order. What kind of person I want to be, PS. And then in the bottom right quadrant, write what are my next steps towards this vision? What are my next steps towards this vision? Okay, so we're going to start up in the upper left corner. And before we begin, I'm just going to say a quick little prayer. Lord, I thank you for this beautiful day. I thank you for these beautiful people that you have created and that you long to connect with and long to spend time with. And I just invite your spirit here into this time to be speaking to us about the visions that you have for us and our lives. And I pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay, so go ahead and take some time now to draw a picture, or if you're not an artist, no one's going to see this, so you're not getting graded on your art ability. But go ahead and draw a picture or write some words about what your life was like before the stay-at-home order. What kind of person were you? What do you remember most about your life before the stay-at-home order? I'll give you some time to go ahead and do that. And if you're watching this on the replay, you can, fast forward through it if you finish early. And I'll just give you one more minute. Okay. So now we're going to move on to the second quadrant in the top right corner and go ahead and draw a picture or pictures of what you remember longing for or wishing for in your life before the stay-at-home order. Oftentimes, maybe you were content. Maybe you were perfectly happy with the way that life was. Um, so if that's the case, then just write down that. But oftentimes we feel discontent and then we feel guilty for feeling discontent. But sometimes our discontent can actually be clues into what God is wanting to draw us towards or um, tug us towards. And sometimes paying attention to those longings or those hopes or those wishes can give us a glimpse of the direction that we need to start heading in. And so I want you to spend some time thinking about what were some of your heart's longings and wishes pre uh, before stay-at-home order. Were there any phrases or ideas that kind of stuck out to you that made you think in those days before all of this broke out? I'll give you an example from my life. About 3 months prior to all of this, I was just tired, and I literally thought to myself, it might be nice to join a convent and just do very basic tasks and spend time reconnecting with God. So I just longed for a much simpler life. Um, and so that's what I would write down in this quadrant, is that I was longing for a simpler, slower, more intentional kind of life. So go ahead and spend some time thinking about and reflecting on that. Okay, maybe one more minute to reflect on what your longings were prior to the stay-at-home order. Excuse me. All right. If at any time you need more time, feel free to just pause the video. Now, the third quadrant, the bottom left quadrant, I want you to draw a picture or vision of what kind of person you want to be. P.S. Post stay at home. If you could change one thing about you or your life, what would it be? It could be something mental, it could be something physical, spiritual, or emotional. For me personally, what I wanted to come out of this time with um, was a more solid rhythm of spending time with God. So, like I said, I see this as an opportunity to recalibrate my life. Um, so, draw a picture or write a little bit about what kind of person do you want to be when you come out of this? What is one thing that you would like to change about you or your life when um, this stay at home order is completed? Okay, a few more seconds. All right. The last the last quadrant, you're going to draw a picture or pictures of what some of your next steps towards this vision would be. Or you can write about it instead. And here are some questions to reflect on as you um, complete that quadrant. Have there been any commitments in your life, BS, that were helpful and appropriate then, but may not be going forward? Have there been, but may not be the best going forward? Have there been any patterns of behavior that you know are not healthy for you? Have there have there been any patterns of behavior that you know are not healthy for you? Is there anything that you need to leave behind through forgiveness, letting yourself or others free from the past? Is there anything that you need to leave behind through forgiveness, letting yourself or others free from the past? So, those are questions in regards to things that you may need to leave behind. And then here are some questions in regards to maybe things to pick up or to start. What practices would help you be healthy? mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. What practices would help you be healthy? Now look back at your longing in quadrant 2. Do you see any connections between the longings that you sensed prior to the stay-at-home order and what you could do next moving forward? Do you see any connections between what you were longing for before the stay-at-home order and steps that you could do next? And now, if you're like me, you may have a long list of things to do in that quadrant, which defeats the purpose. And so now I want you to pick just one thing that you would consider the next faithful step. One thing that you would consider the next faithful step towards choosing to be better rather than bitter in this time. And now take a moment and think through who you are going to share this step with and ask to hold you accountable to doing it. The only reason why I finally got this channel going is because I had a friend who is amazing and she like took it very seriously when she said that she was going to hold me accountable to starting this project. Um, and I had no idea how serious she was when she said that she was going to do it. And because of her, I really find matter if it takes off. It doesn't really matter if it takes off. What matters is that I finally did it. So I am grateful to her. Um, and I know that we all need people like that in our lives, people who will hold us accountable to becoming the best versions of ourselves that we want to be. So go ahead and write that person's name down. And I encourage you to share with them all that you kind of did in this exercise, and particularly what is the one next faithful step that you're committing to doing today. I would also love it if you, excuse me, wanted to share in the comments of this stream whatever you are comfortable sharing. So you can share what was most helpful about the exercise, what was uncomfortable about the exercise, what your next faithful step would be, the name of the person that you want to hold accountable. But just post something um, that kind of marks that you're committing to um, this exercise of becoming better rather than bitter in this time. And I look forward to seeing you next time, and hopefully you will continue to journey along with me in my little adventure here. Feel free if you liked this exercise or you want to see more content to go ahead and like the video and subscribe to the channel and all that stuff, yada, yada, yada. And I've never done this before, so I am wide open to feedback. So anything that you think could make this better or more helpful, I would love to hear that from you. So please, you can message me in the About section. You can get my email that way. If you see me on Facebook or Instagram, you can DM me there. But I would really appreciate any feedback that you have or ideas about how to make this something that is a helpful tool for you. All right, enjoy the day. It's beautiful. Take care.